Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all okay. I hope yesterday was a positive day, even though it was dark and gloomy and wet. And I hope today will be a positive, good day for you. And it's really dry and sunny out there at the moment. And I hope that will boost your melody or put a spring in your step for the day. Today's card, January the 15th, is the 15th card for the Major Arcana. And this is one of the cards that people do tend, another one of the cards that people do tend to panic when they see it, because they think, oh my gosh, something's going to happen, something bad's going to happen. And it is the Devil. There we go. As you can see, you've got masculine and feminine, negative and positive, yin and yang, and everything like that with the two cats. You see the person there with a horned helmet, and the staff there with the cat's head on it. Right, okay, the first thing I do say when this card turns up in a reading is cut the cord. Whatever situation you're in, it's time to change. It's not doing you any good being in that situation, and the best thing to do is letting go of that situation in order to move on. It could be emotional, it could be spiritual, it could be mental. I don't mean mental in a mental health issue. It could be that because we always put ourselves down, we are our own worst enemies when it comes to putting ourselves down. And I keep telling people it doesn't matter what others say about you out there in the big wide world. No one will be as bad as what we call ourselves in our own heads. And the things I've called myself is just, but hey, but anyway, this card represents our base nature grasping for security, controls us through the irreconcilable differences which exists in our male-female nature. Basically like a conflict in between, shall I, shan't I, am I strong enough, am I too strong? And it also shows that even though we are tethered, we are tied down with our bodies, i.e. it's not so easy to just walk away from your home or your job or situation you're in. But emotionally, spiritually, you can. I.e. so if you are in a job that you don't like and this card comes up with basically saying, right, that job is holding you back. If that's the question, that's holding you back, and start looking for a new job that you really want to do, kind of thing. Or if you're in a relationship, it could mean that divorce is on the cards because of the situation you're in, or at least change the situation your relationship is in. You must avoid making others overly dependent or using their coercive powers in an unethical fashion. That's another one as well. Trying to win people round, as it were, by not being your true self. And we tend to do that. Most of us are like chameleons, aren't we? We do tend to change for the situation or the individuals or groups that we are in at that precise moment. And of course it says here self-punishment, which is the worst kind of punishment any one of us could go through, because we always doubt each other, ourselves, sorry, we always doubt ourselves. And this card is basically saying, no, don't doubt yourself. Test the waters first, see if you can do it, and 9 times out of 10 we can do it. I've spoken before about problems that we have had, in doubting ourselves all the time, and so therefore we don't do half the stuff that we want to do. This card is basically saying you can still do it, but weigh up the pros and cons first. If it's better that you do move on, either a job or a relationship or a friendship or a family matter or a new home or whatever, depending on which cards come up before and after, of course, and then go from there. Another thing this card does tend to show as well is could be bad influence or advice from other people. Basically people putting you down, saying, oh no, you can't do this, you can't do that, because you're married to somebody, or you're living in an area, or because you have children of a certain age, so therefore you can't do that, or it's against your family's religion, or whatever, or spiritual calling, or whatever. It just really, really, really doesn't matter. This card also, it says, it enslaves us through our need for material comfort and money. Basically, we do tend to settle for second best. It's like, because we think, right, fine, we've got the security, whether it's the roof over our heads, or monetary, or, you know, through a job that we don't like, but it's good pay, but we don't like doing it. And then you just weigh up the pros and cons with that. But if you're feeling stagnant, and if you're feeling stuck in that situation with no way out, start looking around you for ways to get out. And oh, pardon me, it will be good. This is one of the cards. This is the only card, one of the only very, very few cards that that can be quite good when it's reversed, in the negative way, like a release from bondage, i.e., you know, sort of a relationship, a marriage, or a contract of some sort, throwing off shackles, recognition of one's needs by another person. So basically, getting recognition at work, which I think is wonderful sometimes, because people do take us for granted for what we do, and if you do the job you're paid for, then people don't turn around and say, "Oh, you've done a good job," because that's what they expect from you anyway. So, and on this card basically says, they will acknowledge what you've done, the beginning of a spiritual understanding, the first step towards enlightenment, and that could be personal enlightenment, could be because getting out of a situation that you've been stuck in for a long time. It could be either emotionally, spiritually, or physically, but just literally getting out of it would be beneficial for you. And this is one of the very few cards that are really good in a negative way. But I always read this card as to say, like I said, cut the cord. Getting rid of dead wood, and you know, leaving things behind that are of no consequence, and of no reason to drag with you towards your future. So letting go is the main reason of this card, and don't take everything at face value. Look into things and go from there. Okay, thank you. I shall speak to you tomorrow with the next card. Thank you.